I'm here to tell you the tale of the harp of Dagda. Now this harp that he had was made out of an old oak tree. Now Dagda lived thousands of years ago, and he was a god of the Druids. Now he had the ability, he had a huge cauldron that any time people wanted food to eat, it was there within his cauldron to feed his people. And he had a huge, huge club that when he swung it, 9 men would fall to the ground. And with the heel of it, the same men could rise back to life. But his most prized possession was his harp. Now his harp could play the seasons. His harp could make crops grow. And his harp had the way to change men's spirits. So let's begin on a journey. Dagda trailed to the Emerald Isle. And of course he brought along with him his cauldron and his club. And he also brought along his harp. But when he got there, he was not the only one alive. There were other tribes there. They too wanted the territory. And they had fierce battles. And one day they stole Dagda's harp. And he had to search far and wide to find out where it went. And there it was, hanging in the hall, this beautiful, magnificent hall. And there it was on the wall. Now remember, it was magic, and no one could play it but Dagda. So he stormed the castle, and in he came, fiercely fighting in all battles. He ran and he grabbed the harp off the wall, and he picked it up. Remember, he is one of the Irish gods. Superhuman. And so, he began to play his harp. First, he played there it is. And all his enemies in that great hall began dancing to his music. They danced round and round and round. His harp had the power to control. Everyone was feeling the beauty of his music. And then he transformed to another song. People jumped upon the tables. They grabbed food, eat and drink. The night went on and on. People were spellbound. And then as the evening wore on, his enemies dancing, he played yet one more song. It was solemn. Morning was almost approaching. And people began to yawn and stretch. The hall became silent. Dagda played on its magical harp. Soon all his enemies descended to their knees. Then on, in huge piles, the people were sound asleep. Dagda came in and conquered the Great Hall, and then took over the Emerald Isle. And so ends the tale of Dagda and his harp.
Long, long ago, people didn't have computers or televisions. They didn't even have radios. They had books, but before they had books, there were storytellers. And Seamus McManus tells the story of when he was a little boy. He said there was a man named the Bokak Rua, the red beggar man. And he had flowing red hair, just like yourself. And yourself. And he would come about once or twice a year. And he would go up on the hilltop and he'd be twirling a stick. Let me see you twirling that stick. And he'd sit there up on the hill and he'd look around at the houses. Let me see you looking at the houses. And he'd wait till he saw one that had smoke. A lot of smoke coming up from it. He'd go up to that house. He wouldn't knock on the door. He wouldn't ring the doorbell. There wasn't a doorbell to ring. He would just lift the latch and step inside and he'd say, God and Mary be with all here. And then he'd take his stick and put it in one corner. Go ahead. He'd take his bags that he had around his neck, put them in the other corner. Take the bags around his belt, put those down as well. And then he'd sit down with the family. Now you notice, he just walks right in. He doesn't ask anybody anything. And the reason why was because he did not want to offend them. When he put his bags and his stick down, he was telling the family that he would be staying there for the night. A beggar man just walks in the house and says he'll stay there for the night. But he doesn't even ask because he knew that would have offended them. Because in Ireland they said, half of what you have belongs to those that have nothing. And then the family would sit down for the meal. He came to the house with the most smoke. Do you know why? Because that meant they had a bit more food. A little bit more to share. And usually the mother said the prayers for the family, but not when the Bacharua was there. When he was there, he'd have them all sit. And Seamus said his knees used to be hurting him because the prayers would be so long from the Bacharua. He'd go on, then he'd say, and in our prayers, may we remember every man, woman and child that I have ever met. And in our prayers, may we remember every man, woman and child that I have never met. And when the prayers were over, everyone would go and sit by the fire. There's no radio. There's no video games. There's a storyteller. And everyone would listen to the story. Now I'm going to tell you a story right now. This one comes from County Tyrone in 1846. Mr. William Carleton wrote it down. It's a story about Lanty McCluskey and the fairies. Now you should know this. There's a fairy ring in this story. But you never step into a fairy ring. Oh, the good people get mad if you do. I know that back in Ireland, back in the 1980s, they were going to build a freeway. And they came to one of these circles, a fairy rath. And these big men with their hard hats, they said, oh, we can't build there. So that's a place belonging to the Shee, the good people. And so even though it cost thousands of dollars more, they built around it. And somehow that makes me proud to be Irish. Here's a story of Lanty McCluskey. He's thinking of building a house right in one of those circles. That's a bad idea. Here's an old tale. Long, long ago, there was a fellow by the name of Lanty McCluskey. If I say A Lanty, you say I Lanty. A Lanty.
I Lanty.
And Lanty McCluskey, he had set his eye on a sonsy fine girl from the next parish, and he wished to bring her back as his bloomin' bride. That means he met a nice girl, and he wanted to marry her. But she looked at him and she said, Lanty McCluskey, you have a bit of land, but you have no house upon it. Howsomever can I marry you? So he decided that he would build a house. But here's the horror of it, and you won't believe what I'm telling you. But he chose for the side of it one of those circle mounds, a fairy ring. A fairy ring.
I fairy ring.
Well, when the neighbours heard that, when they heard he was thinking of it, they started coming round. The old men came round and said, Lanty McCluskey, I hear tell that you're thinking of building your house in one of the fairy grass. Don't do it, Lanty. Don't do it. You know that land belongs to the good people. Good people.
I good people.
Oh, the old ladies would come around and say, Lanty McCluskey, is it true that you yourself are thinking of building your home on a fairy ring belonging to the she? She?
I she.
Oh, Lanty, no, please, don't do such a thing. Even the children would come round. Mr. McCluskey, you wouldn't want to go and build your home on one of the forts belonging to the fairies now, would you? Fairies.
I fairies.
But Lanty McCluskey was a headstrong man. He said, I'll build my house wheresoever I choose. I don't care. I don't care if it disturbs all the fairies of Ireland. I don't care if it disturbs all the fairies of Europe. I build my house wherever I choose. And he built it right in the ring. He got the hammer out and he started to work. Well, help me out a little bit here. Well, let me see you hammering. Let me see you. Oh, he got the whole house built. He married the girl and they had a fine feast, a beautiful feast. And the fiddler was playing. Let me see the fiddler playing. Oh, the fiddler was playing. The people were dancing and jigging about. Do you know how to do a bit of Irish dance yourself? Do you now? Do you know how to do a bit? Oh, could you show me how they might have been dancing? No, you don't wish to, that's fine. Well, they were all dancing about and they were having a grand time. But then it started to rain outside. Let me hear the rain falling. But then they heard a strange sound. They heard a strange sound indeed. It sounded like this. Eeyop. Let's hear it. Eeyop. They heard it again. Eeyop.
Eeyop.
And they heard it a third time. Eeyop.
Eeyop.
Well, Lanty said he better go outside and look what it was. Well, the rain was still falling. And it seemed to be coming from the roof, and he looked up. And what did he see? But there must have been 100 fairies standing up on the roof. And they were all lifting up the boards right off the top of the roof. And one of them was speaking to the others, and he said, let's hear him. Work hard, boys, work hard. You know that we must have Lanty's house tore down before daybreak. Let's hear him. Oh, and there they were lifting off the boards off the house. Eeyop. Let's see it. Eeyop. And again. Eeyop. Oh, Lanty looked up and he said, Gentlemen, please, would you stop what you're after? I was just wet this very day, and soon my guests, they'll be getting wet. Would you stop what you're after? And the fairy looked down at him and he said, let's hear him. Did you hear that, boys? Did you hear that? Lanty McCluskey, he says his guests will soon be getting wet. Wet is what they will get. Wet is what they will get. Work hard. Work hard. And there they were. Eeyop. Let's see it. Eeyop. And again. Eeyop. Oh, Lanty looked up and he said, Gentlemen, please, if you stop what you're after, I give you my word of honour, I myself will tear down this house as soon as it's daybreak. As soon as it's daybreak. And the one fairy looks down at him and he goes, let's see him. Oh, did you hear that, boys? Did you hear that? Lanty McCluskey, he said he'll tear it down himself as soon as it's daybreak. And he gave his word of honour. And everyone knows Lanty McCluskey, he's a man of his word. He's a man of his word. Our work's done here, boys. Off with you. Off with you. And all the fairies flew off. Let me see him. Oh, there were many more than that. Oh, let me see him. Until there was only the one left. The one that had spoke to him before. And that one looked down and he said, Lanty McCluskey, after you tear down this house, Build your new house above the boreen between the two white tarns, and ye shall see what ye shall see. That's him. Shoo! That's it. Shoo! And that fairy was gone. Well, the rain was still falling out of doors. Let me hear it a bit. And Lanty went back inside. The people were dancing and jiggling about, having refreshment. They were playing the fiddle, let me see it. Playing the fiddle and having a grand time. Well, Lanty went to bed that night. And he woke up early the next morning. Let me see you stretch out. Oh, that's it for the very good yawn. That's it, girl. Oh. The rain had stopped and he went outside. And you know, there were bits and pieces missing off the top of the roof. But it had been a big storm. The winds had been strong. It might have just been his imagination. Maybe he had just imagined the fairies there. But he had given his word of honour. And so, despite the protestations of the wife, Lanty McCluskey, he endeavoured to tear down that house. Help me out here. Help me, let's tear it all down. Come on, tear it down, guys. One more time. And after he tore down the house, he remembered what he heard, or what he thought he heard. That he should build a new house above the boreen between the two white tarns. And he took his shovel and he began to dig. Help me out. Let's do it. Come on, work a little harder. That's it, a bit more. Don't stop. Everybody now. Keep going. I think we're getting there. Let's do it. One more. Bing! What was that? Bing! Bing, 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 bing. There's something there. Here, get it out with your hands. Come on, brush the dirt aside. Pull it out. What is it? It's some kind of a box. Open it up. Let's open it. Oh, it's hard to open. Let's get it. Oh. And he found that box. It was full of a cam of gold. So that your man, Lanty McCluskey, he became a far worthier man than he ever otherwise would have been had he never met the fairies at all. And maybe we're a bit wealthier too for having met the fairies on this day. That's a story. 1846, County Tyrone, Ireland. The story of Lanty McCluskey. Hey, Lanty!
Hi, Lanty.
Let's hear it. Oh, let's hear it. Thank you very much.
Hi, welcome to the 2020 Celtic Canines exhibit as part of the Dublin Irish Festival. With me today is a soft-coated Wheaten Terrier. Soft-coated Wheaten Terriers are considered the oldest of the Irish Terrier breeds in Ireland. They share an ancestry with the Kerry Blue Terrier and the Irish Terrier. They're considered the long-legged terriers as opposed to one of them all who has short legs, but we believe this guy is also an ancestor to that breed. The farmers in Ireland use these guys to help with vermin and guarding the property. They're good guard dogs, but if you let them bark, they'll send someone off, but they will also jump on that person and greet them with their Wheaten greeting, which is one of their trademarks. They're a good family dog. They have sweet, sweet temperaments. They are high energy. So with smaller children, we recommend that you don't necessarily have one because they will knock the child over with their exuberance, with that Wheaten greeting. Their other nickname is also spring-loaded Wheaten Terriers, not just soft-coated Wheaten Terriers. They have an unusual coat. It is hair. It is not fur. They don't have an undercoat. And so like human hair, it needs to be tended to on a regular basis. If it's not combed and brushed regularly, it will mat, and that will cause some real painful experiences for the dog, and you'll end up with a shaved down dog. They are prone to running off to see the world, so they need to be kept on a leash or in a fenced-in backyard. But they are one of the best dogs out there for families. They start off with an unusual color for their coat. They start off very dark brown, almost black, and then turn to this blonde color, which is supposed to be the color of ripening wheat, therefore the name Wheaten. W-H-E-A-T-E-N, not O-N, which often happens. They live an average of 12 to 14 years. They do have different health challenges that we try to pay attention to, but overall they're a great dog, and they are soft, just like their name. And when you touch them, you feel like you're touching a stuffed animal. So it's hard to keep your hands off of a soft-coated Wheaten Terrier. And this is soft-coated Wheaten Terrier Ziggy, who is almost 2 years old and is almost at his adult color, which happens about 2. So thank you very much for spending some time with us today and learning about the soft-coated Wheaten Terrier.
Hello my friends, how are you? I am well, very well, thank you very much. It's Greg McVicker, Irish author, poet and storyteller here with you today through a virtual presentation of the Dublin Irish Festival. I wish I could be with you all in person because I had written a new book for this year's Dublin Irish Festival, which is set in Dublin, Ohio itself. It's called The Diary, the Detective and the Dublin Irish Festival. And as you can see, it was written not just by myself, but by my fellow co-author, Michael E. McCarthy, along with mystery guests and their valiant quests. Fellow authors who contributed to this book is Arthur Cola, Sinead Tyrone, Cindy Thompson and Therese Gilardi. And unfortunately, because the festival was postponed this year as a result of circumstances beyond our control, I've been asked if I would put together a wee video for you all to debut this new book. So what I would like to do is give you a reading from chapter 21, which is called Feast of the Gods. I am the diary, Michael is the detective, and of course, here we are in the Dublin Irish Festival. It's Sunday, August 4th, 2019. Entry number 6, a wish, a tree, a lad named Flatley. Location's the Irish Authors Corner, and the time is 15 minutes before the gates opened. Dear Diary, after I ended my telephone call with the international man of mystery, J.P. Sexton, I stretched and took a deep breath, trying to collect my thoughts and process everything that had been going on since my arrival a few days prior, on Thursday morning. Although the festival always brings me to the brink of exhaustion and collapse, this one took things to a whole new level. I noticed a shadowy figure out of the corner of my eye, making a move toward me, which startled me to no end. My nerves were now on heightened alert. As quick as it was there, it disappeared out of sight. Nick Bova walked into the maintenance shed at Kevin's request. He said I would need transport so that the others who normally monitored my time and my whereabouts would not start asking questions about my networking. Since the shadow had sent shivers up my spine, I felt it was time I made like a banana and split. I took him up on the opportunity. Are you okay, Greg? Said Nick. You look startled, as if you saw a ghost or something. Are you now being chased by your own shadow? Come on, climb in, and let's get moving. He wasn't aware of what just happened. I saw that Nick was not using the paddy-only wagon cart to come and get me this time, so I asked him about it. He explained that Kevin decided to hold on to it to allow others to see me talking to or driving with different staff. This would avoid drawing any more unwanted attention to myself, or for that matter, to them. Nick went on to say the festival was about to open, so I should get back over to my station at the Author's Corner. He then set about helping me to get there. I'll be fine, Nick, I responded. They all know I look for every opportunity to network and often disappear for short periods of time to do so. It should not be anything new to them. Say, do you have anyone living in the maintenance shed? Or anything, for that matter? Nick cautioned me that although this might be the case with my fellow authors, his wife Lisa was at this morning's mass and privately radioed Nick, telling him there was going to be an onslaught of eager readers coming to the Irish Authors Corner. He didn't answer my question about the shed. They've heard about you, your missing author, and your love, Greg. Are you not aware of what's going on? My love? I responded. Who, pray tell, might they be talking about? Oh, are they perhaps referring to she who shall not be named? The one who unleashes the Cruciatus curse upon my soul through her unrelenting sarcasm. She has several different aliases around here. I have a new one for her. Wait until you hear what it is. Before I could blurt out the rest of the words, Nick cut me off. What was that you said? Lady Voldemort? No, not whatsoever. She's your manager from what the planning committee understands. Well, at least that's what's listed on her festival credentials. If memory serves me correctly, the actual name which was given to us for her on the application form is Professional Cat Herder. Do you know anything about that? Yeah, it's a long story, Nick, I replied sheepishly. Talk to Jim McVeigh, Sinead Tyrone, or to her wee friend, Angie Bertetto Swagger, who was responsible for getting the coffee cup made in her honour of her efforts. However, Angie's comments are totally biased. The imperious curse was cast upon her, so it was. Shifting all attention away from this light-hearted engagement, as it would take me an eternity to explain to Nick how she came by this name, I then said, "Jeez, my mouth is dry from all of this talking and the lengthy phone call I had with JP. Are we able to stop somewhere and get a wee drop?" "And what was that about, my love? You never did get to finish your thoughts." Nick paused for a second, then chose to not immediately address my question. Instead, shifting the dialogue once more, it was as if we were playing a game of conversational chess. "Funny enough, Greg," he said, "Lisa told me you could probably use a cup of tea right about now. She is going to bring you some cheesecake, although I understand that is not what you prefer. Anyways, Kay McGovern briefed us this morning before Mass and said people saw you running around the grounds yesterday with your hands in the air, standing in front of the Celtic cross, making an offering like it was a sacrificial lamb, all the while chanting in tongues of Gaelic. Many observers thought you were doing a traditional Irish blessing for an Irish claddagh ring. You know this better than any of us, Greg. They are used as wedding bands in Ireland. Wendy Bell was curiously watching you. She asked if one of the Irish speakers hosting a workshop could come over and provide the translation for us, as she thought from her research you were performing a ritual based on Celtic paganism. The truth is, this was a fairly normal moment for me, since chaos, madness and pure shenanigans are freely distributed into every moment of the festival. I was waiting for an opportunity to explain to Nick what I had been doing and saying, but he continued with his thoughts without taking a breath. As much as Nick has become a good friend, it was as if he needed to get everything shared with me in case he couldn't get a chance later in the day, especially being the last full celebration of the festival, which always required an all-hands-on-deck approach, all 1,200 volunteers, that is. Either that, or Magna McCarthy had tried to interrogate him. "Here, you may find this interesting," said Nick. "The female volunteer you talked to earlier this morning at the spoken word tent. You might know her, Melissa Stacey. Well, she sought permission from Alison Leroy and Laura Nelson to speak to the clergy before the ceremony started, and asked that they let people know to keep an eye out for that Arthur Coliani fella you told her about. She is serious about her job and said that you were deeply concerned for his well-being. Since there were quite a few thousand people in attendance at Mass this morning, it will help us get the word out that much further. She distributed printed copies of a photo which was given to her by that overly enthusiastic fellow who is parading around here playing detective. Here, have a look at it yourself." I took one look at the photo and groaned. The picture Michael had shared was taken back in 2017 and included all of the authors in attendance that year. We had all gathered in front of the Irish Authors Corner and posed for a photo as a wonderful memory. As great of an idea as it was at the time, Michael had now drawn red circles around a few faces, each of whom were familiar to me, and included Jim McVeigh, JP Sexton and Colin Broderick, the Ulster lads. Coincidentally, or not, neither JP nor Colin were at this year's festival. On top of that, using a green felt marker, he drew an arrow pointing directly at my head, but provided no obvious explanation as to why it was there. My suspicions about Michael's intent grew to another level. What is he playing at? He's up to no good, I thought. Arthur did not resemble anyone from Wisconsin or Italy whatsoever, nor a leprechaun king either. For that matter, his name was not even given as the one between us all, who was reported as missing. However, upon a second, much more thoughtful look at the photograph, which was now out there amongst the festival participants and in full circulation, I noticed something even more peculiar. A lady who was not there in 2017 was suddenly at the festival this year, but was very much keeping her distance from most of us. What was her name again? Therese Gilardi. That's it. Another author with an Italian last name and a French first name. What is it about these Italians and their chameleon identities? She was the one who was sitting right beside Arthur. If anyone might know where he had disappeared to, it could very well be her. I shook my head in disbelief before handing the photo back to Nick and explained the issue I had with it. So much for him being a detective, Nick, I said. What use is this to anyone? Folks are going to be asking others in the crowd if anyone has seen them, all the while pointing to the faces of JP and Colin. Just so you and Lisa know, JP is currently back home in County Donegal, and he told me he will not be able to make it in time for the festival. Colin is scouting locations in County Tyrone for his latest production. Since neither of them are here, it is going to add more chaos to an already overflowing mix. And what about that green arrow? What do you think? Is Michael Magna McCarthy up to something? Is he trying to undermine my own efforts to find Arthur? Nick quietly took in what I said, along with my constant questions, and continued to drive me along in the golf cart, taking us in a direction we did not normally go. Lost in my thoughts, I finally lifted my head as Nick began slowing down and tapped me on the shoulder, only to see the wishing tree was now in front of me. He paused and said I should get a look at what is written on the wishes on the tree. There were thousands of the same message. I turned to Nick with a bewildered look on my face, asking why we were here. He finally answered that one question. Do you see what you have created? This is what I meant by your love, Greg. Look what you've done. Staring back at me, scrawled in a variety of handwriting styles, attached to the wishing tree was the message, Dublin Borog Ochtar, a Graham O'Cree. Nick looked at me and said Laura had informed him that the Schmidt food truck had a run on Dublin cream buns. So much so, it was like watching the feeding of the 5,000. John Schmidt told her himself that they could not keep up with the outrageous demand for them and had to bring in extra staff. John then asked Laura if a meeting could be arranged so he and I could take a photo together. He wanted to feature one of my co-authored books with J.P. Sexton and Mark Rickerby in the Schmidt's Sausage House under a restaurant, as is located in Columbus, Ohio. Oh my, such an honour. I since learned the truth about this, said Nick. Folks intently watched you as you held up a puff pastry above your head, offering it up to the Celtic cross, all the while saying, Dublin Borog Ochtar, a Graham O'Cree. Murray Drury, who was learning the Gaelic language, came out from the workshop and repeated what you were saying. Wendy asked Murray to say it again, then translated it into English before jumping up to a microphone and told those watching in awe, you were saying, Dublin cream bun, love of my heart. They all thought the moment was so magical. Festival attendees all lined up for hours and even began to whisper, P.S. I love you. After making their purchase before taking their first bite. Simply said, Greg, it was love at first sight. They figured this was some kind of mystical Irish way of finding and falling in love, like getting the gift of the gab from kissing the Blarney Stone in County Cork. You can now add the title of matchmaker to your resume. The one sad part though, Hilary Swank's heart is indeed going to be broken after all. My response was not so swift but rather detailed. What else is new? Ah, Jesus Murphy, have mercy on my poor wee Irish soul. Wait until Fabio Finn, the love child from Mallinhead, hears about this. I swear he will have me certified, committed, crucified and locked away in Purdy'sburn in Belfast. The men in the white coats will be locking me up for the goodness of all mankind, so they will. And they won't be bakers, I can promise you that. Nick looked at me, smiled and said, to be honest, I don't think it's Purdy'sburn you will need to worry about, Greg. Wait until your manager, Denitsa, hears about this one. Does she have Jedi mind powers? I lowered my head for a moment only to look back up. Using the sign of the cross from my childhood days growing up Roman Catholic, I blessed myself 3 times while saying, Lord have mercy, Christ have mercy, Lord have mercy, in succession. God only knows what fate lies ahead for me once Danica hears this. After all, it was she who bought the first Dublin cream bun into the Irish Author's Corner. And well, for my first diary entry back on page 19, I suppose the rest is history. There you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed that wee reading from the new book. I want to make sure I stay within the time limit here of 15 minutes, so Please check back, read this again. We'll feature it for sure on my own web pages in the coming days after the festival has done their feature launch. And again, you can get this on Amazon. Thanks very much for tuning in. Keep safe, look after your families, and I hope to see you next year with the sequel to this wee book. Sláinte mai, go níir talad agus go mana rich. Cheers to your health, good luck, and God bless. Bye for now. Cheers.
He was stranded in a tiny town on fair Prince Edward Island, waiting for a ship to come and find him. Friendly face, a one-horse place of coffee, and a tiny trace of villain in the distance far behind him. A dime across the counter then, a shy hello and a bright new friend that'll walk along the street in the wintry weather. Yellow light, an open door, and a welcome friend. There's room for more, and then they're standing there inside together. He said, I've heard that tune before somewhere, but I can't remember when. Was it on some other friendly shore? Did I hear it in the wind? Was it written on the sky above? I think I heard it from someone I love, but I've never heard a sound so sweet since then. Now his feet began to tap, and a little boy says, I'll take your hat. He's caught up in the magic of her smile, and leaped the heart within him once, but off across the floor he sent his clumsy body, graceful as a child. He said, there's magic in the fiddler's arm, there's magic in this town, there's magic in the dancer's feet and the way they put 'em down. People smiling everywhere, boots and ribbons, locks of hair, after blue suits and Easter gowns. Now the sailor's gone, the room is bare, the old piano's sitting there, someone's hat's left hanging on the rack, and empty chairs, the wooden floor that feels the touch of shoes no more, just longing for the dancers to come back. And the fiddle's in the closet of some daughter of the town, the strings are broken, the bow is gone, the cover's buttoned down. Sometimes on December nights when the air is cold and the moon is bright, melody that passes through the town.
And they were put together by the island native Owen McCarthy. This guy right here, he put the band together. So,
who's that man?
They were here, you saw them last year, they were here last year, and the group now is going to bring their brand of foot stomping, roaring mayhem to the Dublin Irish Festival. So come on, put your hands together for Whiskey the Dam!
To your logo, get your phonic fix. Shaking in your iron wood and made a preacher sick. Took the points of whiskey, came the barman lip. With the glass glass ready to blend the way you sit. So I call the plane, a bottle roll with some of the whiskey there. Good soul that vouch for me, and shot me ready prayers. Sang until I couldn't scream like that when I couldn't say. Drive me to another place, send me home again. So here's to you, my dear friend. I'm a drinking for days in the car start again. When we get to heaven, the gods will let me in. Here in the gates, round the place to hell to see your friends. Hey! November sun, babies all over the crowd, see your daddy gone. Hearts will fix the poison, why by the ground. Mash another bottle, then we'll bring the king's crown. Here's to you, my dear friend. I've been drinking good old days, I can't start again. When we get to heaven, God's will let me in. Here in the gates, well, the place of hell, see your friends. Hey! My dear friends, I've been drinking good old days, I can't start again. When we get to heaven, God's will let me in. Here in the gates, round the place to hell to see our friends. Here in the gates, round the place to hell to see our friends. Hey!
Bit of kick and snare in the front wedge.
When I wish I wasn't on the end and someone seems it down. Climb aboard the steamship and sail the ocean round. Sail around that ocean, we'll sail around the sea. Find one to somebody wherever she may be. She just passed me by, till she was sleeping, but rolling up her eye, rolling up her eye, rolling up her eye, till she was sleeping, but rolling up her eye. You remember Molly, you gave me your right hand, for the sun forever, said I will be your man, I will be your man. I will be your man, for the sun forever, said I will be your man. Now you're done here, Molly, go home and do you please. Going out forever, said going naturally, going naturally, going naturally, going out forever, said going naturally. Wish I wasn't money. I'm aboard the station, sail the ocean round, sail around the ocean, sail around the sea. Fly on to somebody wherever she may be. How you guys doing? We're Whiskey It Down. We came here from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I hope you all know how to drink, because we are getting hammered after this show. song called Another Day Dead. Where's your fucking apocalypse? Just sit around, getting fat and sick, and all the fake media I've never seen are dead on the walls. The real guns carry that have broke your neck, rolled tied around and filled with no regrets. Get the chair out from under, just see the fat boy swing. Bottom one singing it all, let the crowd make it fall. Sweet, sweet again, in the silence, says it all. Barry's comes with your funeral sheet. Last one to show, first one to leave. Birds getting dirty, gas the last laugh is on me. La ta 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 la ta, la ta ta la ta, la ta ta la ta ta la ta, la ta 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 la ta, la ta ta la ta, la ta ta la ta. Our blade, smoke seed teeth to really show you rage. Singing it's all your enemies are gone to the grave. Your brass, my time is here. Singing golden time for another year. Candace just my pension, drunk and disorderly. La ta 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 la ta, la ta ta la ta, la ta ta la ta ta la ta. La ta 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 fucking apocalypse. Got some ass words, you better make up quick. Got an itchy trigger finger, got a tendency to let words slip. La ta 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 ta, la la ta 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 ta, la la ta ta la ta 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 ta, la ta 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 ta, la la ta ta ta, la la ta ta la ta ta, yeah.
Thank you all. This next song is called El Biblioteca. For no reason at all.
Smile, reading the speeches of the young. This trial I fought was in a ritual asshole. But I'm timing this as a song, but it's later it's on my own. Carry me home, boys, let me down, down with the open place. We're out of time, get here again. Well, that's why I saw. Once tried to be, till now we home again. Cause in a brick room, that's all. Sweet, balance and smile. Feed me your answers line by line. Nothing's used to junk your crap, not to. But in the summer sun, slave what's on my mind. Carry me home, boys, let me down, down in the open place. We're out of time here again. Well, that's why my son once tried to be, soon I'll be home again. Yeah.
you guys awake? We got some of you. The rest of you need to wake up, all right? We're gonna sing you guys a song about drinking whiskey.
Last night as I sat, checked the man with being well, he shook him by the hand. We passed the time of day, questioned on his views. His cool and stance philosophy, we had these few and clear. Yes, my words to say, I am going, any which way the wind may blow. I am going, streams of whiskey I know. Always laughing, now I'm gonna pile. Coming to a chesty when I walk here on my feet. Leave here on my back because I'm going. Winds right the wind, baby blowing. I am going. Dreams of whiskey I'm going. Words that he spoke, when the sun must be seen up in everything. But when they come a tear, when I need that light, find a light inside of me, walk into this bar, drink 50 pints of beer because I'm going, which way the wind may be blowing, I am going, streams of whiskey I'm blowing, I am going, which way the wind may be blowing. I am going, dreams of whiskey I'm going. I am going, which way the wind may be blowing, I am going, streams of whiskey I'm flowing, I am going, which way the wind may be blowing, I am going, streams of whiskey I'm flowing, streams of whiskey I'm flowing, streams of whiskey I'm flowing. You guys enjoying the show so far? Yeah, apparently we gotta tune these poxy things after you wreck them.
How's everybody doing? So we recorded a new record since the last time we saw you guys here. New record is called Bedevil the Railroads. You can see our man Jim. He's over in the tent. Jim waved everybody. There he is.
So there's a song called The Wayward Waltz of a Drunken Ghost.
Don't worry for you musicians out there. It's not a waltz at all. But if you're drunk enough, you can try to waltz to it. I want to see somebody try to waltz to it today.
I'll try to waltz to it. Close and over punk, Andy.
This is kind of our most punk rock song, I think. So call me out. We'll watch the last stars falling as the sun burns down. And I'm so hard to be around. Well, I sleep so much I can hardly tell you're not. And when California sings so well at for the Nevada coast, we'll swim the LA oceans and dance with your ghost. I swear I'm clean. That's a promise I can keep when I'm so damn bleached. And I never meant to be so loud. Stay here, I'll fix you. Can't see you can't live without. And when California sings well at for the Nevada coast, we'll swim the LA oceans and dance with your ghost. When I'm done writing these words, I will burn every page. It's my only excuse for lighting my way. Hey, 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 hey.
On guitar, give him a round of applause. That's Mr. Matt Schutz back there playing bass and drums at the same time. Mr. Marco Conley on the banjo. And Mr. Brian Link on the keyboard.
And when California sings, we'll head for the Nevada coast. We'll swim the LA oceans and dance with your ghost. When I'm done writing these words, I will burn every page. It's my only excuse for lighting my way. So here's another song off our brand new record. This song is called Devil I'll Tell. A busted radiator has me redlining like an engine. One more damn degree will blow the gasket in my head. My identity has left me for a man with eyes as gray as ashes. Gotta find the devil, tell him that I need revenge. I'm sure I'm one flight away from hell. Devil, I'll beg, devil, I'll tell. Somebody stole my life, and I need to get it back. I've gotta turn the hands of time. I've gotta make it right. By any means, however wrong or ugly, taking back what's mine. I need revenge. The fuel I've been burning has me smoking like an exhaust pipe. Acid from the battery corroding my insides. So tired of being diseased by a disease that makes me tired of a million bloody other things that wear upon my mind. The gray-eyed man, proud of his plan, is laughing, hear him through the wall. Know that he must go, and so the devil I will call. I'm sure I'm one flight away from hell. Devil, I'll beg, devil, I'll tell. Somebody stole my life, and I need to get it back. I've gotta turn the hands of time. I've gotta make it right. By any means, however wrong or ugly, taking back what's mine. Oh devil, give me sight into the soul I must control to make my sleep return tonight. I need revenge, eye for an eye, and I look forward to no ugliness should it mean I go blind. For out of sight means out of mind, and if I'm out of my mind, tell me, just don't say I'm out of time. I need revenge. Where do I sign? I trade eternity of pain for temporary peace of mind, so be it fine. When it's my time, I'll take my one flight back to hell. The short commute sounds just divine. I need revenge. I only lost it for a moment, but the moment felt like years. Made a flight of stairs, a mountain, the mountain stream, a trail of tears. All my friends turned into enemies, my own finger accused. My years of mental suffering from my own hands abused. I was quick to blame and spread my shame from mine onto another's name. Let a splitting headache cloud my ears. And in the search for what was mine, I could have had it all that time. Now damned I am for my eternal years. I gave away my life, I let it slip, abandoned ship, and I got washed up in the tide. I gave away my life, and on my soul I lost control for revenge I could never find. I gave away my life. I gave away my life. So thank you guys. That's a brand new song off our brand new record, which is for sale over there. Just talk to Jim Rice, who's in the green shirt.
Thank you guys for sticking with us while we change instruments and shit all the time. We only have about 80 or 90 more songs for you guys. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That's exactly how a guitar is supposed to sound for the record, folks. It's innovative.
This one goes out to my aunt and one of my cousins who are both sitting right over in that general area where I'm circling around.
Yeah, over there somewhere.
I supposed to know that something wasn't right here. Oh, pretty baby, I shouldn't have let you go. But now you're out of sight, yeah. Show me how you want it to be. Tell me, baby, 'cause I need to know now where we go. My loneliness is killing me, and I must confess, I still believe. Myself by life. When I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time. Oh, pretty baby, the reason I breathe is you. Oh, you got me blinded. Oh, pretty baby, there's nothing that I wouldn't do. It's not the way I planned it. Show me how you want it to be. Tell me, baby, 'cause I need to know now where we go. My loneliness is killing me, and I must confess, I still believe myself by life. When I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time. Oh, 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 and I must confess that my loneliness is killing me now. Don't you know I still believe that you will be here. Give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time. My loneliness is killing me, and I must confess I still believe myself alive. When I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time. Oh, and if you wanna be with me, baby, there's a price to pay. I'm a genie in a bottle, gotta run me the right way. If you wanna be with me, baby, there's a price to pay. I'm a genie in a bottle. this, it's killing me. And I must confess, I still love, I still believe. I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time. We're hoping to put that song on one of our future records. In the meantime, here's one that's on the new record that we have for sale right over there. This song is called This Is Why I'm Not Your Girlfriend. That's seriously the name.
All of your walls, with broken scars and old tattoos, when all your old lies are fading, you're talking in your sleep. Then watch you think lullabies and empty stages, wishing everything was second was another way to spill my guts for you. Here we go again, started off at the end. Cigarettes in a bottle of wine, no regrets at all. In the end, when all it is said, I just know this city can't sleep without you. A million miles away, I'm still trying not to scare you off. Just thinking about how your blood stains on my fingertips and yours. I think about this so damn much. Can't separate the memories from the pain. Here we go again, started off at the end. Cigarettes and a bottle of wine, no regrets at all. In the end, when all is said, I just know this city can't sleep without you.
Thank you guys very much.
We're gonna sing a song about a boat. It's called I'm on a Boat. I'm on a boat and I'm going fast and...
Wrong boat song.
There's a song called The Good Rat. It goes like this. 1, 2, 3, go!
Fall on the sand point with a grace you laid upon yourself. We crush the shiner breeze, long for a road, so it's way I know. None of it's starting blind, small like all my home. Breathe my last note, be the enemy of the day. The good rat she sails. She twisted out the side of a sightless score. Fire burn the skies, strings my love. Drinks we shall have, tonight we fight for our lives. Swab like all my home. Breathe my last note. Be the enemy of the day. Good rat she sails. The good rat she sails. The good rat she sails. The good rat she sails.
Oh yeah, I gotta tune that.
Talk amongst yourselves, folks.
What is forced to papist empire, cursed by your God. Sirens they croon across the city's fog. Give a breath to the fallen fire and the howling dog. His last words become famous. Made their rise, they danced in his grave. Lies say that I'm a murderer by trade. Slept in awe what is foregone Savior's praise. Curse the ground I lay face down in, stone that bears my name. Gallows break their holds when they bring me to my knees. Raise a flag and I'll cut you down, still breath in me. As his last words become famous, the right in next in his grave. Here lies the enemy, a state and a murderer by trade.
So that song is also on our new record, For the Record, by the record from Jim. And speaking of that new record, we're going to play another new song from that new album right now.
So yesterday we had the honor of being on WCBE, and we performed this song acoustically on that, so we're going to do it again because we don't know any more songs. We definitely don't know that one. Start all over, do it all again. This is a song called Pulling Stitches. And I cried like a baby on a 20-hour drive, searching for something to bury. Took the knives and shot from your tongue. Pull out the heartstrings, used to stitch myself together. Well, oh my, just put me in the water. That's a suicide Susie playing a rich man's daughter. Drag me back out, feel my glam's to the sort of giving anything to be your fool. Giving anything to be your fool. Makes you wanna laugh, get sick of your stories about how your heart's bad. Front of your wound, see, I'm just getting fighting for your truth. Saying, oh my, just put me in the water. That's a suicide Susie playing the rich man's story. Drag me back out, feel my lance is hard. Giving anything to be your fool. Giving anything to be your fool. Oh. Pull myself together, sometimes, but I'll make it even better. Just like last time, but I'll make it even worse. The honesty inside me won't just slip into your words. Last thing I remember was the summer we did in Jersey. Piss and rain on Alligator, I fucking drunk and human. Woke up bleeding on, glancing up at the stars. Wondering which boy had your heart. Wondering which boy had your heart. Oh, my, just put me in the water. It's a suicide super play the rich man's door. Drag me back out, then my lance is sore. But anything to be your fool. Saying, oh my, put me in the water. Yeah, me and my exactly with disrespect and donors, but the choir boys sing. Devils in the city say I do.
a big old fool. Oh, 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 now big old fool. Oh, oh, now big old fool. Oh, 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 now big old fool. Oh, oh. Say on my mind, just put me in the water. That's just suicide Susie playing the rich man's daughter. Drag me back out, fill my glass of salt, giving anything a big old fool. Say on my mind, just put me in the water. Down here was exactly what we disrespecting noise. Choir boys sing when the devil's in the same, say I do. Say big old fool. Oh, 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 now big old fool. Oh, I'm big old fool. Oh, 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 now big old fool. Thanks.
So, this guy standing over here on my right, shaking his head, this is our friend Granville, and I told him it's my new life's mission to let everybody know he crapped himself in our van.
I like when people in the crowd say, oh, it's him again.
Yeah. We're gonna party with Granville later. He's a lot of fun.
Just lock him out of your vehicle. It'll be fun.
You can find me face down in the dirt, writing songs your last words. We had something great to say. Broken hearts don't change a bit, they just show us of our worth. We could all be so lucky to fall so hard so fast. We were just kids, mistakes are what we did, guess these free rides never last. Mary was a runaway from L.A. Every kiss was one mistake. Said I could have been a star, except for the scars on my arm. Guess I never looked at her that way. We could all be so lucky to fall so hard so fast. We were just kids, hearts that we did, guess these free rides never last. Ask me, son, when I grow old, will you buy me a house of gold? And when your father turns to stone, will you take care of me? She asked me, son, when I grow old, will you buy me a house of gold? And when your father turns to stone, will you take care of me? Just feel homeless once again. I watch every passing train car, I wonder where you are, if I'll ever see you again. We could all be so lucky to fall so hard so fast. We were just kids, mistakes are what we did, guess these free rides never last. We could all be so lucky to fall so hard so fast. We were just kids, mistakes are what we did, guess these free rides never last. We were just kids, mistakes are what we did, guess these free rides never last. We were just kids, mistakes are what we did, guess these free rides never last. Whoops. How about doubles?
What? I won't do it every time.
So you guys having fun yet? No, I actually don't. I'm waving at myself at this point. This is the most sober I've ever been for a show, I think.
There we go.
Of hell, we shower and misfits sing small banshees wail. We're screaming all night to the Angelus bell. We're the ghosts of a fire. We'll burn this fucking place to the ground. Be dying for excuses and bruises. Right, we sing all night. The whiskey and a slaying down the fists in the air. Fools in the streets, the Molotovs all night. Blue games in. Somebody's everywhere, my friends are gone. Makes no difference, we all die alone. Keep me through the gates of hell. Shower and miss the things about banshees well. Screaming all night. Yeah, till the spell. The ghosts of the fire. Burn this fucking place to the ground. Pavement, his car left the ground. Johnny kissed the anus. Devil grew in sight, but every saint has a name. Sinning has a future, question on the kings. You want the nail. Somebody tell me where my friends have gone. Makes no difference, all die alone. Leave me, gates on rail. Shower with Mr. Ticks on banshees rail. Breathing all night, yeah, till the spell. Ghosts of a fire, burn this fucking place to the ground. Through the gates of hell, with a shower of misfits sing small banshees wail, screaming all night to the Angelus bell. We're the ghosts of hellfire. We'll burn this fucking place to the ground. Through the gates of hell, shower of misfits sing small banshees wail, screaming all night. The Angelus bell, ghosts of hellfire. Burn this fucking place to the ground.
Well, we hope to have woken you folks up a little bit. This is going to be our last song for today, but we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be right here at 5:30. Come see us again.
you do with what would you do with a drunken sailor? Do with a drunken sailor like in the morning. Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Longboat to count his dollar like in the morning. Way hey, she boys, way hey, she boys, way hey, she rise like in the morning. Way hey, she boys, way hey, she boys, way hey, she rise like in the morning. Do with a drunken sailor, what would you do with a drunken sailor? Do with a drunken sailor like in the morning. Shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor, belly with a rusty razor like in the morning. Way hey, she rides way hey, she rides way hey, she rides her like in the morning. Way hey, she rides way hey, she rides way hey, she rides her like in the morning. Go! What would you do with a drunken sailor? What would you do with a drunken sailor? Do with a drunken sailor like in the morning. Put him in a bed with Margaret Thatcher. Put him in a bed with Margaret Thatcher. Bed with Margaret Thatcher like in the morning. Way hey, she rides way hey, she rides way hey, she rides her like in the morning. Way hey, she rides way hey, she rides way hey, she rides her like in the morning. Hey! right as hey, yeah, you know she right as hey, yeah. She right as her like in the morning. Hey, yeah, you know she right as hey, yeah. She right as hey, yeah. She right as her like in the morning. Way hey, she right as way hey. She right as way hey. She right as her like in the morning. Way hey, she right as way hey. She right as way hey. She right as her like in the morning.
We'll see you here tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. We have a new CD. Come talk to us at the merch booth. Thank you all so much.